Okay, we're going to start in Supta Baddangulyasana. So just come down directly onto the floor. Have a bolster, and you're going to come down onto your back and have the bolster underneath your feet, and then use the bolster underneath your legs. Didn't think of the word legs then. That's bad, isn't it? That's not a very good start. So just bring your feet together, your knees apart. You can always put some extra blocks underneath the thighs if you need them, like this, just to support the hips. But otherwise, just ground yourself and just feel the opening of the front of the pelvis. Stretch your arms to the ceiling, interlock your fingers, and then stretch your arms away. Just have your hands directly on the floor, and your arms directly on the floor, or have support underneath your hands like a folded blanket or some blocks if there's stiffness in your shoulders. So just stretching yourself out. Turn your tailbone in, draw the belly button towards the spine. Focus on inhalations and exhalations. Fill your lungs from the bottom to the top, and empty your lungs from the top to the bottom. Fill your lungs evenly. And empty them evenly. Just raise your arms to the ceiling, swap the interlock of the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then lengthen your arms along the floor again. Maintain your connection with the breath, observing the energy of the inhalation, observing how the chest rises upwards and outwards with the in-breath and relaxes with the out-breath. Listen to the sound of the breath as you inhale. Observe that the sound of the inhalation tends to start at the nostrils, midway from the front of the nostrils to the throat. And the sound of the out-breath is at the throat. Release your arms, just rest your hands on your lower ribs. Just spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance and then bring your knees together, your feet apart, just resting your feet on the bolster. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Just have a little rock side to side, from top to bottom. Maybe even get hold of the outside edge of the feet. Just have a little rock in happy baby. We just have the feet apart, just rocking from side to side. Just easing out any tension in your lower back and in your hips. And then release and roll onto your side. And then sit yourself up. Come up into cross legs. Just plant yourself directly onto your seat bones. Just feel that there's evenness in the balance of the seat bones. Perhaps roll over, move the buttock flesh out of the way, and hold onto your knees, lift up into your chest. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the right side. Drawing your abdomen across and your shoulders and your ribs, but keeping the neck soft. And then come back to the center, hold onto your knees. Lift up into the chest and then turn to the left. And then gently come back to the center. Just come down onto your knees and sit back on your heels. Just allow the legs to just mold into the floor. Just feel how the floor stretches out the fronts of the shins. How pressing your legs really firmly into the floor activates your thighs. So feel how it stretches, sitting back on your heels, stretches the front of the shin. When you're not used to this, I don't know if you remember, but the first time you sit in virasana, if you haven't done it before, it feels almost impossible to do. It feels like the feet won't kind of stretch in the right direction. But once you get used to it, you kind of forget that really good stretch that you get from sitting back on your heels. So just sit on the mat. If you're on a hard floor, sit on something softer. So fold them, get your folded blanket, unfold it a little bit, so you give yourself a little bit of extra cushioning underneath the shins. That will help to stretch them out as well. It will help you to bring the shins down onto the floor. Lift up into the chest, elevate the heart area upwards, and then keeping the seat bones in contact with the heels if it's all possible. Come forward, stretching forwards. And then hit your seat bones down onto the heels. Just keep turning the tailbone down or away from the sacrum spine, away from the lumbar, down to the tailbone, so that you subtly open the lower back. Extend deeply into the arms. Just listen to the breath as it enters and as it exits. And come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Activating your legs, tightening the kneecaps, turning the fronts of the thighs inwards, hitting the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. If you find, I'm finding this mat a bit slippery in this warmer weather, so if you maybe grip the sides of the mat, it just gives you a more firm basis if you're feeling the same thing. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Feel how you can open up the chest. You can hit the legs away from the arms and hit the legs away from the arms, hit the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs, and you can lengthen out the front chest. Lift from the abdomen to the diaphragm, to the collarbone, to the chin. Consciously pushing the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs. Feeling that you can lift the seat bones higher away from the backs of the thighs. Okay, step your feet forwards, come up into a standing position. If your back is feeling a little sensitive and have blocks for your hands, coming into half uttanasana. Otherwise, you can go into full uttanasana. So have your feet as wide apart as the mat, turning your toes in a little. Raise your arms up. Lift it up into the chest. Elevate the heart area to the ceiling. Hit the kneecaps into the sockets. Bring the thumbs into the creases of the elbows. Wrap your fingers around your elbows. Hinge at the hips and come forward. Let the body hang down. Keep the legs really firmly activated, especially the thighs. Lift the fronts of the thighs. Push the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards. All of these actions give you space in the hips. Lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. So just feel how you open up the energy of the back of the legs. gently release your hands down to the floor and come into half uttanasana. Use blocks or bring your hands onto the shins if you can't reach. Just project the chin and the chest forwards, hitting the fronts of the legs through to the backs of the legs. Projecting into the spine. Hands into your hips. And then come up into a standing position. Come into Tadasana. So just feel how your energy has changed in those limbering poses. Just feel how your energy opens up. So the physical energy inside the body. Stretch your arms forwards, turn the palms all the way out, reach behind you, bring the tips of the fingers together, and then walk fingertips up towards the neck. If you can't do this, you can get hold of the opposite elbow behind the back. So at first, your namaskarasana will probably look like this. So the little fingers are together, but the palms will be apart. So try winging the elbows towards the back of the room a little more. And then lengthen from the shoulders into the elbows. And then finally squeeze the elbows towards each other. So perhaps your palms come flat together. Lift up into the chest. Feel that you can continue to wing the elbows back. Just listen to the breath. Try and get the finger knuckles in contact. The index finger knuckles especially. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate breaths. Just observe the rest of your Tadasana. Sometimes this makes you do this. So you stick the tailbone out, you push the lumbar forwards. So tuck the tailbone in, hit the shins and the thighs back, turning the fronts of the thighs in, tuck the tailbone in, draw the abdomen to the spine, lift up into the heart area. Okay, and then gently release your arms, spread into the fingertips. Just be really conscious of stretching rather than shaking the hands. Spread in the fingers. Maybe your hands feel like they are a bit broader. Maybe your hands feel a bit bigger. Stretch your arms forwards, interlock the fingers, turn the palms all the way out, and then raise your arms over your head. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Baddangulyasana. Try and wing the arms beyond your ears without poking your head forwards, without turning the tailbone out or sticking the lumbar forwards. Draw the abdomen towards the spine. Just release your arms, swap the interlock of the fingers so that the other index finger sits on the top of the stack. Turn the palms all the way out and then raise your arms over your head. Feel how your feet connect to the ground. So my natural way of standing is to bring all of my weight onto the outside edge of my feet. And it's almost like the big toes and the inner heels don't really exist. So turn the fronts of the shins inwards. Bring weight into the the center of the heel. Spread the toes. So of course we all stand in different ways. But my way of standing is kind of to turn the legs outwards a little, almost to turn the feet outwards a little. And so I put a lot of weight on the outside edge of my ankles when I walk, and that's why I twist them so much. Although touch wood, I haven't done it for a while. Just release your arms, and then release the hands, and then stretch your arms down. Just feel the energy in your arms. Feel the energy spreading from the forearms into the hands and into the upper arms. That warm sensation of physical energy. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump your feet apart for trikonasana. Turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out, and then come down. Find the shin and look up. So just find your pose to start off with. Just observe what your body is doing this morning. So my lower back feels stiff this morning. So it's kind of setting my hips out of line a little, so I can feel that. So rather than just going straight for the hips, go straight for the feet. Observe how your feet are lifting out of the floor. Lift from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, and then you find that little bit of extra space in the hips. Reach up to the top hand. And back to the center. Just keep your arms outstretched if you can. Swap the feet around. So if we identify a problem or an area of stiffness or resistance, often we just concentrate on that region. Think about what's going on around it to really find the levelness. Come over to the other side. Bring the shin onto the floor, onto the shin onto the hand, onto the shin, sorry. So just feel, is the resistance the same on this side? Or does it feel a bit freer? Listen to the breath. Are you activating your legs? Are you activating your kneecaps? Are you lifting out of the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine, into the heart area, into the arms, into the head, into the neck, into the head? Breathe even deep inhalations, taking deep inhalations and deep exhalations. And then with an exhalation, come back to the center, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Just feel your Tadasana. Just be in the pose, listening to the sound of the breath. Taking long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. Focusing on the inhalation and allowing the inhalation to be free with no resistance. Bring Your arms out nice and wide in towards your chest, and then step or jump, go as wide as you can, and line the edge of your heels with the edge of the mat. Prasarita, padottanasana. Turn your toes consciously inwards. Stamp the big toe into the floor, spread into the little toes. Lift from the feet into the shins, into the kneecaps, into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine. Open the spine, open the chest, winging the elbows behind you, winging the elbows towards each other behind you, so the shoulder blades gather. And then hinge at the hips, and then reach down. Use blocks underneath your hands if you can't reach. But just find the floor, just feel how your legs respond to the pose. Just feel where your weight is in your feet. Hit the shins back a little, turn the fronts of the thighs and the shins inwards, so that then you can pick up the seat bones. The more you can lift the seat bones away from the floor and away from the backs of the thighs, the more you can extend into the spine. Let's take deep inhalations and exhalations. Hinge at the hips if you don't have any back problems, and then bring your head down onto the floor. Heels of the hands in line with the heels of the feet. So we're going to do a couple of variations. So bring your hands around the outside edge of your heels. If you're in the first stage, then just stay there, just working to extend into the spine. But otherwise, just hold onto the edges of your heels, push the heels into your hands, push the hands into your heels, so that you can really pick up the seat bones. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And then release the heels and then, or the ankles, and then stretch your arms towards the back of the room. Have the palms facing down, push the arms into the floor. So stretching beyond the legs, straighten the arms, palms facing the floor. Just push your hands really firmly into the floor, keeping the elbows straight. Breathing even deep inhalations and exhalations. Try not to let it become heavy on your head. Bring your weight into the feet and the hands. Okay, just bring the heels of your hands in line with the heels of the feet again, and then lift your head and bring yourself into the, just stretch forwards into the halfway point. Just breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And then turn your left toes in, your right leg and foot all the way out. Walk your hands over to the right side, and then bring your right hand onto the shin, and then turn the chest into trikonasana. So it's a wider trikonasana than you might normally do. Turn the chest up to the ceiling. Just feel the lightness of the legs. And then bring that top hand down, bend the right leg if you need to, and back into prasarita padottanasana, the first stage, and then turn the right toes in slightly, turn the left leg and foot all the way out, walking yourself around, bringing the left hand onto the left shin, bringing the other hand onto the hip, turning the chest up to face the ceiling, and then reach up. So a really wide trikonasana. Maybe your legs feel different, maybe they feel light, maybe maybe they feel like they can lift out of the feet and up into the hips, into the spine, into the heart area, into the neck, into the head. Focusing on inhalations, filling the lungs with no resistance. Okay, bring that top hand down, bend the left leg if you need to. Come back into the prasarita, padottanasana. Lifting the seat bones. And then bring the heels of the hands down. And then jump or step your feet back together. And then come back into tadasana. Lifting up into the legs. Feel the energy of the legs. That lightness of the legs. Lift up into the heart area. And then raise your arms up in urdhva hastasana. So straighten your arms. If you struggle to straighten your arms, have them a bit wider apart until you can straighten them. Working with non-resistant inhalations. Non-resistant inhalations bring more energy in through the breath. And then release. Just come down onto your knees. Have your hands shoulder width apart. Have your feet hip width apart. Step back a little. And then come up into dog down. Just feel how you have woken up your body. Feel how the dog down feels for you now. Maybe it feels lighter. Activate the legs though. Activate the legs and the kneecaps. Turning the thighs inwards. Fronts of the thighs inwards. So the backs of the thighs feel like they broaden outwards. Observe whether your lightness and energy feels even on both sides, or whether you need to try and distribute it, working the left side evenly with the right, and vice versa. Keep your hands where they are, keep your hips where they are, swing your hips forwards, come into dog, up, lengthening into the heels, lengthening the abdomen away from the heels, keeping the legs straight, keeping the legs away from the floor. Broaden the collarbone by gathering the shoulder blades, turning the crease of the elbows to face the front. And then come back up into dog down. Just breathing non-resistantly, feeling the lungs from the bottom to the top. So by now, we've largely activated the energy of the legs and the hips and the torso and the arms and the head and the breath. So maybe what normally feels like effort feels a little lighter. But just come out of the pose if it feels like it's too much effort. Okay, come down onto your knees, sit back on your heels, just lift up into the chest, observe your energy. lightness of energy in the limbs, in the chest, in the head, in the breath. Just listening to the sound of the breath as it enters and as it exits. Stretch forwards. Just come into Adho Mukha Virasana, just stretching out your back. Push your hands into the floor underneath your shoulders, sit yourself up again. Just stay sitting on your heels and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across. Maybe you need a block for underneath your hand if it feels the floor is too far away. Lift up into the chest. Draw the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders, keeping the neck soft. Feeling that you keep the weight of the seat bones and the feet even on the floor. So just bring the torso evenly between the two hips as you turn. Come back to the center. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left. Digging the backhand into the floor, turn in the chest. And then gently come back to the center. So we're going to do a restorative pose for a few minutes, not a long restorative pose, but I want you to come onto your front and then stretch your elbows away. You create a little pillow for your head. So just let your hips rest into the floor for a moment and then keep the left leg where it is and bend the right knee out to the side. So it's at a right angle effectively with the hip. And then rest your head down onto your hands with your chin in the same direction as your bent knee. And then just rest into the pose. So a proper restorative pose, we would stay for at least 5 minutes on both sides, but we don't have time to do a full restorative pose, so we will just rest into the floor just for a couple of minutes. Just let the body release into the ground. So rather than our typical approach of filling the body with extension, when we do a restorative pose, we fill the body with relaxation. When you aim to fill the body with relaxation, then the body feels light from the core of the bones to the muscles and the organs. So embrace that lightness. So don't feel the need to extend. I want you to just relax. Restorative pose is only effective if you relax into it. So kind of the antithesis of our normal practice, where we aim to fill the body with extension. We just aim to fill the body with calm and relaxation with a restorative pose. Okay, stretch your leg back to the center. Just rest your head on the forehead on the back of the hands for a moment. Just observe the feeling of the hips, just letting the hips rest into the floor. And then bend out the left leg. Turn your head to the other side so that your chin is in the same direction as your bent knee. Keeping the right leg straight. Just allow yourself to relax into the floor. And then stretch the leg back, just rest on your front for a moment. Just feel how that gentle, restorative half frog pose brings your openness into the hips and hopefully release into the hips. And then just push yourself up into a seated position. And then get a folded blanket for your head. Just being cross legs for a moment, just observe the energy that you have released through your practice this morning. That transformation of the body's energy. And then get a bolster from underneath your legs. or we've worked really hard on the legs today, so you might want to put the bolster on top of your legs. So either underneath the knees or put them on top of the legs. It really helps you to relax your legs. It's up to you. You can do it either way. Let the body rest into the floor. Just make sure that you're in a good straight line. And then allow yourself to release into the floor. Let go of the arm and the leg muscles. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. Allow the body to become heavy. And then out of that heaviness, perhaps you observe that feeling of energetic lightness that radiates from the bones into the muscles. Just observing the energetic lightness that you've released through your practice. Feeling the physical body with that lightness of energy that you can distribute down into the toes, into the legs, into the toes, into the arms, into the hands, into the fingertips, all the way up into the head. Using the breath to distribute to. Basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just bring yourself back into this pose of shavasana. Just enjoying that blissful relaxation and the energy comes out of our fairly intense practice. Just bend your knees, take the bolster off your knees off your thighs if it was there. Just have a little rock side to side from top to bottom. And then just roll over onto your right side, stay down just for a breath or two. And then stretch out the top leg, come up into a seated position. Just come into cross legs with the hands in Namaste, just a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice this morning, that blissful, calming energy that we produce through our deep extension. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then very gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. And as you raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel like you've really extended and excited the energy in the body. You've given yourself lots of good positive energies.